Hi everyone, I'm Carol Carini from Billabong Marketing, and today I'm talking with John Farver from Farver Law Firm in Bellevue, Washington. John has 22 years of experience in the field of bankruptcy and has a vast knowledge and skill in the industry. Now, John keeps his clients and helps his clients tackle the confusing and sometimes daunting path through bankruptcy. And today he'll be talking about what bankruptcy is and will give us an overview. Hi, John.
Hi, Carol. How are you today?
I'm good, thank you. Now, John, I know that there are a lot of people out there who might be thinking about bankruptcy, but are not really sure about how it works. Can you explain to us what bankruptcy is?
Sure. Bankruptcy is a legal method of discharging an individual or a company's debts and their obligation to pay back money that was loaned to them. It's contained in a statute. It's a federal law, and again, it allows people who have found themselves in deep financial trouble to be able to discharge their debts and have a fresh start.
I bet you there's more to it, though, isn't there?
Well, there is. There's quite a bit more to it, and the law is relatively specific, but its clear intention is to allow you, if you are an individual or a company who finds yourself in a position where you are insolvent, which means you are unable to pay your debts with your current income, a chance to, in effect, wipe out those debts and move forward with your life. And it's called allowing a honest debtor to get a clear, fresh start.
But, I mean, an honest debtor. I mean, it makes it sound really sort of, would make a person feel, well, you know, I'm not a bad person because I need to go into bankruptcy. I mean, that's a really good phrase to use.
Well, Carol, you know, in today's economy especially, it is so easy for someone to go from doing just fine with their financial situation to being in dire need of bankruptcy. And an example of that is a married couple and one person loses their job. You're living, you know, normally your paychecks make it very easy for you to pay your debts and even put savings away. One person loses their job and your income is cut in half, even if it's for a short period of time. And during that period of time, you're expecting, or you're using your credit to continue to survive. But once your job starts again, you realize that you just can't keep up. There are many examples of how people can, how people's financial life can be upset. Spouse losing job, person losing their job, automobile accidents causing somebody to miss work, illness causing you to miss work, a extreme drop in the economy has happened here in 2008, and the housing market crash. It's so easy in today's economy to go from doing just fine to being in dire financial straits. And that's exactly the purpose that bankruptcy was set up for, was to allow people who find themselves in that situation to get out.
I think also you mentioned, you know, since the economy crashed in 2008, and there has been so many just normal, everyday average people who were doing really well one minute, you know, both had a job, the kids were at school, they had cars, and they had everything that they really wanted, and then they wake up the next day basically, and it's all gone. And you know, they're the honest people who you can do with a bankruptcy if that was needed for them.
Exactly, and people in that situation, you know, the economy needs people to spend money. That's what makes our economy roll forward. If you're mired in debt and you can't pay that back and you can't spend any money, the economy continues into its tailspin. What the bankruptcy code and bankruptcy is intended to do is allow somebody who through no fault of their own or even fault of their own finds themselves in a situation where they can no longer pay their debts or, you know, purchase the goods and services they need, to be able to wipe that debt out and then get on with spending again and saving again, and the economy as a whole continues to roll forward. It's easy for somebody. It's surprisingly easy for somebody to go from doing just fine to be terrible, terrible shape. I've seen this over and over again in the last 20-some years.
And also, there are two types of bankruptcies that you specialize in, and that is Chapter 7 and Chapter 13. And I think what is going to be interesting, because everyone, this is going to be a series, so we're going to have 15 to 20 shows about bankruptcy. We're really going to get into the nitty-gritty so you understand exactly what it is, what it means, what sort of bankruptcy you might need to take, and all the things that are available to you if you are going through a problem, a debt problem. And we're going to be going through all those, aren't we, John?
Yes, we are, and as you say, there's two, and I do primarily consumer bankruptcy, so I'm talking about individuals and small businesses if that's required. But individuals primarily, and there are two types of bankruptcies, and we'll go into this in much greater detail in future shows. But at this point, there's two types of bankruptcy you want to be concerned with, and one is a Chapter 7, and that is what everybody considers when you think about bankruptcy. You're thinking about a total liquidation and wiping out all of your unsecured debt, and that is a Chapter 7. You file in a Chapter 7, you disclose all your property, all your debts, and all your assets, and you allow the court to decide that you should get your fresh start and you should wipe out all your debt and start fresh. And that's all your unsecured debt. And again, we'll discuss the difference between secured debt and unsecured debt in future interviews. But right now, think of Chapter 7 as what you always thought of as bankruptcy. Wipe out all my debt, let me go, let me start fresh without that weight on my shoulders. A Chapter 13 bankruptcy is more what people think of, well, it is called a wage earner's repayment plan. There are certain situations where a debtor, which is what we'll call a person who's filing bankruptcy, wants to keep a lot of his property, and he wants to pay back some of his debts. Or if there's a reason for him to pay back his debts, stretched out over a period between 3 and 5 years, no interest, and at the end of that 3 or 5 years, whatever hasn't been paid off then disappears. As I say, we'll go over this in greater detail, but those are the two primary consumer bankruptcies. A straight liquidation, get rid of all your debt, keep all your stuff. Second is paying back all or a portion of your debt or certain debts over an extended period of time.
Mm-hmm. Well, thank you, John. I think everyone's going to be looking forward to the series that we're going to be doing over the next few weeks. And the next one is going to be about Chapter 7 and Chapter 13 and what it's all about. So thank you, John.
You're welcome. Thank you.
And everyone, please remember, if you would like to talk to John Farver, you can go to farverlaw.com. That's his website. If you want a free consultation, you can go to farverlaw.com/free. And you can also call him, and the phone number is on the screen right now. So thank you, everyone. Thank you, John, and we'll see you again in the next show. Bye.
Bye.